What's poppin', everyone? Welcome to another episode of Remember When. My name is Jose. With me today are my boys Amir and Johnny. Say what's up, guys.
I am a superhero.
What's up, yo?
What's poppin'? So today we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite superhero cartoons of all time. Before we dive into today's episode, though, let us know in the comments what your top 5 superhero cartoons are. Or let us know what you think our top 5s are going to be.
Yeah,
you know?
Contemplate it for
Yeah. Think about it.
Don't think too hard.
Play. Glad you're back. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. We'll hope you got your list ready. If you get it all right, write it down in the comments, and then we'll send you something nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally believe you.
Yeah, totally didn't skip ahead, right? Good. Yeah, we believe our fans. We believe our fans are good people. We never cheat.
Amir, I promise. Now give me that hoodie.
Hand on the textbook, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be, swear to Bob. All right, so before we dive into our top 5, we're going to get, just knock out some honorable mentions. So do you guys want to hit us up with one or two of your honorable mentions?
I'll just start real quick. Batman, the animated series. I know disrespectful, but I didn't watch it like that. I was a 2000 baby, so don't yell at me. The Batman, I appreciated that series, but didn't really like it. I watched it back. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, I'll just say those are good. They don't got that on my list, though. But yeah, and Batman Beyond, I'll say that's the final one. I appreciate Batman Beyond.
Okay, so you appreciate Batman is what you're saying, just not enough.
I appreciate Batman, not that much though.
That's crazy. You said Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
Many iterations of Batman.
Batman Brave and the Bold. But it's mainly because I haven't seen those series in such a long time that I feel like talking them now would be disrespectful. So maybe another time, but not yet.
How about you, Amir? Any honorable mentions?
Teen Titans, Batman Beyond, Danny Phantom.
Woo, your list is about to be cold, man.
Damn, bro.
Teen Titans is an honorable mention. That's woo. Yeah, for me, it's Batman the Animated Series because, again, immaculate show. It really is. But for me, I don't retain as much memory of the show as I do my top 5 list. My top 5 stand out to me a little bit more in terms of just like the value, impact, storytelling, all that kind of stuff. But still a dope show. And then another honorable mention, maybe, I don't know if it is fully considered superhero, but TMNT. Because the 2003 Turtles, I was a huge fan of them. Like there's a lot that I do remember and retain from that show, but it just wasn't top 5 worthy for me.
That's fair.
Yeah. So we'll kick it off with number 5. For me, number 5 is Static Shock.
Hell yeah.
Because that's just an all-around great show. I've retained the theme song. I mean, the theme song is a banger.
Superhero Static Shock.
Yeah.
Superhero Static Shock.
Woo, woo. Get along. Get to it. I'm just saying.
I can't sing that part. You got it. I can't sing that. That's too complicated. That's too complicated.
Yeah, the characters all stood out. And for me, at that point in time, I didn't read comics like that. So for me, Static Shock was a brand new character. In my eyes, it was a whole new character, a whole new world. Everything about it was new to me. And that's really refreshing when you get a new experience with some, especially nowadays. It's really difficult to get something that's original. So Static Shock to me was like that original concept, or at least it felt like it. But also had, familiarity because it does get a crossover episode with the Justice League. So just all around, great show.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Johnny?
Seuss. Number 5, I'm going to start off with something that, not many people have probably even looked. You know what? It'll be one of those shows that you caught maybe at nighttime. And you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then a couple years later, you're like, where the fuck did this show go? Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I forget where it came on. I think it came on Disney Channel. But it was like this, and keep in mind, this came out in 2010. So this was before the Avengers movie, but it was still the Marvel Cinematic Universe was just birthing itself. And I remember catching this draw, and I was like, first off, the theme song, one of the greatest theme songs in cartoon history. Literally, our world's about to break. Look it up if you do not believe me. It's one of the greatest. But the animation, top notch. You got all the characters. You got Hulk. You got Thor, Black Panther. You got the Wasp chick. You got Iron Man. It literally felt like Avengers before actual Avengers pretty much set the scene.
So that do you say you relate more to those Avengers than the ones in the movies?
I appreciated that this one had like had more going on. Like the movies with live action, you can only do so much, but in the cartoons, it felt like they were just pulling like villains out of nowhere, like, or not really out of nowhere in a bad way, but like villains that I would never see before or that I've even never heard of. It was cool. Like I haven't watched it in like a long time, but I appreciated that show when it came out. And then it got canceled, and then it came back later as Avengers Assemble, and then at that point, I didn't give a fuck anymore.
Was that your intro to Marvel?
To be honest, yeah, I mean, other than like Ghost Rider and shit, like from like little spurts here and there, that was probably like the most, the first introduction to the Avengers there. That was probably my
first
The
intro to
main
the
Marvel
Avengers
universe.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay,
Because
because
Ghost Rider was never
none of
like
those.
that in Marvel.
yeah, and you had played the Spider-Man one, like PS1 game, like you played the video games, but you didn't like know the whole big
Yeah.
picture kind of thing.
All I knew was Spider-Man, Hulk Ultimate Destruction. That game was badass. Fuck yeah, I love that game. And Ghost Rider. That was probably the extent of my Marvel knowledge at that time.
Okay.
And then this show came out. I was like, okay, now I get it. Now I get like why everybody's so damn cool.
Fair enough. That's actually a pretty good pick. Pretty solid sleeper pick. How about you, Amir?
Todd McFarlane's Spawn.
Hell yeah.
Spawn, really?
Yeah,
Why is that your number 5?
I mean, I deadass have Spawn tatted
Yeah.
on me, but like, I always like the darker toned heroes, like anti-heroes, like Punisher. I loved growing up. Like just his symbol was hard alone. Then you got Spawn, who's just covered in skulls and is just whipping out chains and just slaying demons and just shooting people at the same time. It was just so hard, and I've never seen a hero like that other than like a Punisher-esque or like a Moon Knight looking dude that does that. And it was such an early show for me. I never seen anything like that before. And it just stuck out because when I did eventually get into the comics, because I couldn't watch the whole show, the show was very spot on with like the actual source material and how they represented everybody. It gave me like Justice League vibes where, you know, they'll introduce a character. I will know the character because I like the comics and everything. And I think they do them generally well. And it just stuck out in my memory because it's so hard sometimes when you're reading something to put it into like an animation or like a visual, but they just do it so right with the Tom McFarlane Spawn and how dark he is. It's just, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I've been watching it recently. Like, haven't got too far, but the animation's on point. Like,
Yeah, the animation is really solid.
it's
actually.
so dark,
And it's
but it
old.
works.
It's an older show. It's like 97 or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
and it came on
was
HBO and shit, bro.
and it looks
was
better than some of the shows that are coming out now.
facts.
It was that late in the 90s?
It's that old.
I thought it was earlier 90s, to be honest, is like what I thought it was, but it was later 90s.
Mhm.
Okay.
The only thing early 90s Spawn related was that movie, the live action movie.
Yeah, we could discount the movie. we could discount the movie.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you want us to talk about the Spawn movie.
I
Or
wouldn't-
not.
I wouldn't mind doing it.
Or not. Or not.
Come on, let me see.
Amir loves these kind of movies.
I can't wait to get to that. hell scene.
Don't let him fool you. All right. So number 4 for me, this might be a little bit of a hot take, but X-Men the animated series
Which one?
from the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know there was like X-Men Evolution,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
There's
it was
like a bunch of them.
Yeah. And I put that as my number 4 just because I think, in our Godzilla episode, we were talking about like there's no consequences to that movie, right? In this series, in this show, there's consequences for all your
Bodies.
actions. Yeah, there's bodies. You look at the literal future with Cable and whatnot, and you see that society is being blown up just because somebody made one poor decision. Like there's actual like death that goes on. There's actual like heartbreak. There's actual oppression. You know what I mean? There's so many like darker tones, so much more mature tones, and it pulls a lot of great stories from its source material, from the comics, has so many great stories that it pulls from and, adapts it really well. So it's just an all-around upstanding show. But
Hell yeah.
not quite enough for, top 3 for me, but it's one that like I remember, and I can, if somebody is like, hey, you want to watch, X-Men animated series, like absolutely throw that on right now. Amazing show.
That's dope.
Mhm.
Did you see the I remember they came out with like the 90s X-Men, or like they did like a revival of that thing?
Yeah, it was like another season with it. Or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't watch that because I was like, for me, for example, the fourth, I think it was the 4th season or the final season, the animated series of the 90s one, it really was not that strong. It really was not that powerful. But like the first 3 did so great, and I also felt I'm very weary about X-Men material nowadays. Just haven't seen so many live action Flash, seen so many just attempts and failures. Not as many failures as Fantastic Four, but seeing just a lot of just again, just failed attempts basically of the series.
You got to be cautious.
No, it has to be rated R.
Stepping on eggshells.
That's the problem. Mutants need to be done rated R. Every mutant-related thing that's rated R has done well. Everything that is not.
Logan.
Some of the X-Men movies I'll discount, like First Class and a couple other things.
I remember liking the first one.
But the general, like the Phoenix joint and all them other things, it's just so hard to get into.
Right.
Because I'm not going to lie, not to skip you, Johnny, I have X-Men as my fourth as well.
Oh, that's your number 4.
Yeah.
Go for it.
First, I loved Rogue growing up and all that, so it was over. But in general, it was just so cool. Wolverine was sick to me. I loved just seeing all these superheroes, and I remember I would go and buy just books of just art dedicated to X-Men and everything like that, because I love Storm, Beast, a lot of the original crew. I didn't fuck with Xavier ever, or Cyclops. He's lame, but
yeah,
everything else, that show was just crisp. And like you said, the beginning seasons are just disgusting. They're solid. You can go through them. I could put it on in the background. I could probably remember every single episode.
Mm-hmm. I can retain a lot of the subplots and overarching plots of the movie, or I mean, the movie of the series, because that's tough, because some shows you really enjoy them, but you can't really say all the subplots or whatnot. For example, Avatar: Last Airbender is another show that I could tell you overarching plot, subplots. I could tell you, what each season was dedicated upon, and the same thing with the X-Men the animated series. I can confidently say I can do that for that entire show. But is there anything else you want to add about the series? Just amazing, dope show, right? Just great character design too. The animation style, beautiful. I mean, and I know you're a big fan of villains. They did a pretty solid job with too. Mr. Sinister is spot on.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they did him justice. That was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's good if you're trying to get into mutants, if you want to watch that. But I mean, also what you said, the first X-Men movie as well, that's a good start point. Because for me, I just remember how hard it was trying to figure out what the fuck is going on and who are all these people for so long.
As a kid, it was a lot more challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably rate this a little bit higher just because I'm an adult and I think I can appreciate a lot of the tones and the meanings of it. Because as a kid, I probably wasn't following the overarching story to the same degree as I would as a more grown, audience.
Yeah, it's appreciating cable as a kid versus now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Johnny, what's your number 4?
Number 4, I wanted to put something recent. So I said, you know what, screw it, why not? Even though it's not finished yet, I'm putting Invincible on it. Because
solid.
I appreciate, dude, back when the first season came out, and especially after the first episode dropped, I don't think a show has ever had me clamor for the next episode as much as that show did. Because I'm sitting here dude, you gonna end it off like that?
Have you watched season 2?
Yes, I have.
And you watched the special with Adam? I think it was Adam Eve, right?
Adam Eve special.
Yeah,
I like all of it. I'm so far so good. I'm just hoping that maybe it'll go up on my list and maybe it'll become number 1. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it at 4. Right now, they're doing something. They're on a solid progress. The story is, if you have not seen Invincible, I'm not gonna spoil a single thing, because going to it blind, you will appreciate everything about it. But it's literally just a kid who finally gets superpowers from his dad. That's all you need to know. He's finally getting superpowers. How is he going to deal with that in a superhero world, or in a pretty much a super world? It's one of the best things that you will see superhero related on a TV show. Hopefully, they do not fuck it up. But if it's based off the comics, it's probably in good hands. Now, they need to stop that bullshit where they did, they only released 4 episodes and they're like, all right, now we're going to take a break. Now we're going to see, wait till 2024, bro. It's are y'all serious? Y'all just killed the hype. Y'all killed my hype.
But the moment those next 4 dropped, though, you were like, actually, I'm blocking off my schedule. I'm taking a day off of work.
I ain't glad. I wish I could be a time traveler and see the future, dog. That's how good this show is.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to keep that consistent quality and then we're good.
It's just that story, the OG source material is so good, and the part that they're in now, I'd rather they take their time. That way everything's animated right, because ain't nothing worse. I mean, I'm getting into anime, but it's like watching Seven Deadly Sins early on versus later on. The quality is totally night and day. Like it's like
I know what you're talking
Naruto
about.
pain fight where like you see Roadrunner legs. Things just start getting crazy. Take your time, spend your money appropriately, pay them animators.
Yes, please.
Please
Give me
man.
some Jujutsu Kaisen level stuff, man.
Mhm.
Seriously.
Give us the Demon Slayer movie type
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah, because that animation, whew, Jesus.
Don't care if them animators ain't got no family anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
care if they ain't got sleep.
I don't care if they ain't sleeping or eating. You got to work them motherfucker. No, please pay your animators, motherfucker.
Please
Please,
do.
please do. We respect y'all. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay. Number 3, I got Young Justice.
I know you love this series.
Oh, 100%. Just there's nothing bad about it. Well, I shouldn't say that because 4th season felt like it was very lackluster for me out of the entire thing. But seasons 1 and 2, I mean, and 3 to some degree, but like 1 and 2, captivating. Like like the same way how you said for Invincible, how you were like, I got to see the next episode. That's how it felt with Young Justice. Like especially seasons like 2 and 3, I was like, yo, keep this shit rolling. I'm like, let me see the next episode. But it's just incredible. I really enjoyed the big theme of just like identity. At least that's what I take out of it, is that you got these sidekicks, but they don't want to identify as sidekicks. They want to be actual heroes, you know? So they're going this challenge of how do we become those actual heroes? How do we find ourselves? How do we find our own voice and whatnot? And, you know, just finding who they are and being, you know, just heroes at the end of the day. But it was also just stellar. The characters involved in there. I mean, Aqualad, bro. Woo, Jesus, he so much better than Aquaman. The what is it, Water Boy from Teen Titans? That's how irrelevant he is. Aqua Kid. I don't know. Any other water-based hero, lame as fuck, right? He's the one exception.
He ain't got nothing on Shark Boy though.
Shut the fuck up.
Close her eyes.
That
shut
show
your mouth.
did bless a couple characters. Even like Black Manta. They made him look cool, and usually he's lame as fuck.
But yeah, the storytelling in the show, visually, it was like perfect also. But the storytelling was just great. It's just the individual episodes, you didn't need it for the big picture. But if you watched in order, like continuity wise, you're treated to like a really good outcome. You know, made you ask a lot of good questions as like the series was going on, and hits you with a lot of plot twists. There were quite a few where I was like, I saw no breadcrumbs leading up to this. Yeah, you know, so just incredibly done show, and I don't think there will ever be a DC show quite like it. In my
Some
opinion,
wild characters in there. I love when Lobo pulled up.
oh, bro, nothing
they
beats
got
Lobo
Lobo.
and
Oh my
Superman the
God.
animated series.
Damn.
Nothing beats Lobo. What is it? The Main Man, I think, is literally what that episode is called. The
Mhm.
first time that was the first time I ever seen Lobo, and that's why I was like, give this man all the give him all my money. Like, this is the best character ever designed.
Give this man 5 movies. Come on.
Please. How about you, Amir?
For my third, I put Superman animated.
Oh, okay. So legit, what we were just talking about.
There you
go.
Yeah. I understand
I'm
why
a
it's your
sucker
number
for the
three.
animated ones that are, because I mean, Batman's even on my list, but like, I just remember the animated series so well. Maybe because how the episodes were formatted, and it was just easy to follow along, no matter how many episodes you might have skipped or even forgotten about. But it still had a good amount of characters. Like I fucked with goddamn, what's the robot with the kryptonite all over him? Metallo. I loved Metallo in the animated series, like how he looked like fucked up, and you got like part skin just hanging off. It just was so. I thought it was kind of gruesome at the time. Superman's fucking up people getting their arms ripped off left and right. And I hate Superman. That's the thing. I hate Superman with a passion.
and
But I love that show.
That's just crazy because I'm 100% with you. Where I'm like, Superman is overrated. I don't think he's, you know, a great character overall, right? But like, I think he's overrated. That series puts respect on his name from anybody. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a hater, you know, if a huge fan, you're going to put some respect on his name if you watch that series.
There's something comforting about that series. Like that whole art style, especially like the same thing with like Batman the animated series. That whole art style is like comforting.
It's
like,
just nice.
yeah, it's like the perfect Saturday morning cartoon. Man, I miss
100%.
Saturday morning cartoons. That
Well,
feeling.
Saturday mornings, they were some special, man.
Mhm.
They were some special.
Now I got to work on Saturdays. bullshit.
Now I'm just sad, old.
I'm not
Depressed.
getting fed in the
Yeah.
morning.
I don't got a bowl of cereal anymore. It's crazy.
I'm drinking almond milk.
Why can't I drink whole?
What's your number 3, Johnny?
Number 3, Static Shock. That was, like you said, that was the first time I ever heard about this man, and I thought it was just like, oh damn, I didn't know nothing about comics. I didn't know they were even based off anything. But I saw Static Shock. I was like, a black man as a superhero? Dang, that man look like me. It was like, bro, I've never seen anything like it. His costume fucked with it. The whole powers fucked with everything about it. The theme song, superhero. I'm not doing it again. Like, that thing was perfect. You got Ebon. You got the flame. The heat. Not heat stroke. I forget his name already.
But, yeah, we'll call him Heat Stroke.
Yeah,
sure.
Heat Stroke.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I always fucked with Ebon. I thought his
Hot spot.
Hot spot. Was it Hot Spot?
I don't
No,
know.
that was from Teen Titans, right? Yeah.
Dudes bleed over each other. But yeah, I thought Ebon was like one of the coolest villains, like especially back in the day. He shadow powers, his voice was menacing, and he was a perfect foil to Static. The show would delve on deep topics. Like, I remember when a kid pull up to shoot up the damn school and shoot his bullies, and then I think Richie ends up taking one in the leg and shit. You got racist dad. Everything's all everything about like racism. You got his father who literally looked like Martin Luther damn King. It felt like an urban superhero show, and I want more of that. I love urban shit. Like, especially when it's like, when it takes itself seriously and knows what it's doing, it's perfect. And that's what Static Shock did.
That's beautifully worded, to be honest, and I think puts a ton of respect on the show. Like, I think you did an incredible job with that.
It deserved all that respect.
Absolutely. And more. And so if you haven't seen Static Shock, like, no joke, go watch it. Like, seriously, go give that show a watch. Like, you will seriously love just the style, just the messages in it, everything about it. Fantastic.
You'd be surprised, especially the messages. So like, damn, I didn't know y'all were gonna be that deep. But
right.
They do, especially for a kid show.
Okay, number 2 for me is Invincible. And for all the same reasons Johnny had said. So I vividly remember when it came out, right? Everybody was hyping it up. It's similar with Static Shock. I have zero background with this character, which gets me excited. I love that. I love that I had zero background with this, right? So I'm like, all right, let's go into it. You got a mature rating. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You getting kind of hype. First episode, my jaw dropped, bro. The first episode. So many shows, it takes like episode 2, 3, maybe even 4 to like get you like captivated as an audience member. First fucking episode, I was like, I'm binge watching this right now. I couldn't wait to like watch the next episode. I was like, what other characters are going to be introduced? Or like, to this day, Battle Beast.
Battle Beast is a damn menace.
I'm like, bro, I've never seen such a menacing character, like in comic books or like any animated superhero show. An absolute menace. The deepest, most powerful voice, had gravitas. Like, this man, oh my gosh, bro. The whole series, though, absolutely fantastic. Captivated by all of it. The power scaling is like fairly reasonable too. Like, you understand when a character is broken in there, and like they make it clear, like, this character is not to be fucked with.
Yeah, they make
it very clear.
That's the best part too, because like the main people you're rooting for, they will fucking lose. They will lose. And I like that. Don't make them like just straight up invincible. Like, like this. Yeah. Like, it show's called Invincible. That motherfucker ain't invincible. No, he gets his ass kicked.
It's just that's and I didn't really want to put like too much like modern stuff on here, but like that show can't be overlooked. 100% top 5 right there. And honestly, it only falls behind my number 1 by this much. Like, no fucking joke. It's like it could have been synonymous with my number 1 in terms of like the value that I have it at. But how about you, Amir?
Batman animated.
Okay,
fair. That's fair.
For me, that was like my introduction to Batman in general. So when like what was the dude with Scarecrow in it? The movie that actually came out.
Oh, Batman Begins?
Yeah, so when Batman Begins came out, I was the biggest hardcore fan ever. I watched all the Batman animated episodes, back to front, left to right, it doesn't matter. I was just obsessed with Gotham and like a lot of its villains, because again, I like villains. But I just thought they had the cooler villains. I liked Killer Croc. I especially like Joker.
Mark Hamill.
And Batman would get fucked up in that show. Left and right, he would lose all the time, just getting hoed, but it still ended up being entertaining and it captivated me. So for me, it's like neck and neck with the Superman animated because they're so similar and like the style and like how they approach the episodes. But I like Batman more, so it's number 2.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Okay. How about you, Johnny?
Number 2, Teen Titans. Teen Titans, man.
Number 2. Okay.
Number 2, because
I can understand why.
like Static Shock, I had no clue what the hell these motherfuckers were, but I loved it. It was, you combined you made anime, a Western animation that was influenced by anime, and they made it work. Like everybody was wacky, but it knew when to be serious, and that was the best part. Like Cyborg and Beast Boy, those are my homies. They're my party animals. I love them. Robin's cool. Starfire, Raven. Hey, a lot of our first loves, man. We love Raven, bro. We love Raven.
Just the best character.
Just the best character in that whole damn show. The whole team.
She is the centerpiece of a whole story arc. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Got badass villains. I mean, you got you got everybody else. You got Slade. Everybody loves Slade.
The Academy.
The Academy. What was that gorilla? What was that gorilla's name, bro? In season 3. What was that? You remember that?
Oh, Monsieur Mala.
Mazumala. With that fucking brain.
One of the 4 brainiac-looking gorillas.
You got Gizmo. You got all of them, bro. I love all the villains.
Every character is memorable.
You got either they're wacky or they're serious as a motherfucker, and it's a perfect balance. This whole show was a perfect balance, and especially at the time, it was a perfect timing when it came out. When it came out when I was a kid.
Red X was hard.
Red X was hard, man.
I mean, didn't they end up making him into a canon character at some point, like in comic books,
There's
because like
Red X.
they were like such big fans of it, and people were raving about him. Yeah. There's no denying the impact of that. Which we have an episode about Teen Titans. Feel free to give it a listen. You know,
definitely
where we go far more in depth about like what made the show so great.
Yeah, if you know, you already know, and most of the people hearing us, you already know Teen Titans is goated.
Right. So my number 1 is Justice League Unlimited.
There you go.
And I think that's like kind of to be expected, but for me, this is how I gotta put it into place for people. How people feel about like Infinity War, Endgame, how like just so much build up to this amalgamation of this incredible thing. That's how Justice League Unlimited was for me, right? I've watched the Superman, Batman animated series, right? I've watched Static Shock. I've watched all these shows, and it's that amalgamation of everything together, and it just was incredible. Everything about it. And then I got to be introduced to so many characters that I didn't know about, that were B and C list characters, but the question, they made the questions seem cool. I was I didn't think just a detective.
If you were part of the Justice League, you got your shot. At some point, there was an episode about you.
No question. Hawk and Dove, Vigilante. Vigilante is just a dude with guns, but they gave him character. They actually made him interesting, and I was like, that's a fucking show right there. And everything about it, I just thought was incredible. And he even used plot lines and stories from the animated series in there, connected things together. And same with the Justice League show that predated it, used that source material and connected it into Unlimited, and to continue stories and driving it into just this huge narrative. Everything about the series is just incredible for me. So that's why it's my number 1.
Hell yeah, deserves it.
Deserving. How about you, Amir?
Yeah, it's Justice League.
I knew yours was going to be number 1. When I heard your list, I was like, he's building up to the Justice League also.
You put it so amazingly, but there's just so many characters like Amazo that just was introduced.
The Amazo android.
They just introduced a character that's basically God. And the man just said, I'm out. What type of show does that? I've only seen Watchmen do that with Dr. Manhattan. Or the exploration of Martian Manhunter, because he was my favorite growing up for no fucking reason. He had a whole arc where he was transforming, being a whole different him. You had the Wonder Woman arc where she's fighting, I think, Ares at the time. It was over a course of episodes, and I did not miss one, fam. I needed that story. I need it. That shit was water, boy. It's easily the top show for me. Easily.
The Star-Crossed finale, I think that was of season 1 of Justice League, with the Hawk Girl or whatnot. They made Hawk Girl interesting. That's the only time
Seriously?
I've ever seen her be interesting. Yeah, no joke.
And
her story,
Hawkman.
And that story, that season 1 finale, that's one of the best finales of any animated series you will ever watch in your life. That's incredible storytelling right there. It's just there's magnitude to it, and
They made magic cool. Etrigan was fire.
Yeah. Oh man, Etrigan. Jeez. There's too much, high praise that I could sing about this show. And one day we'll do an episode about it, actually cover it more in depth. But yeah, that's a solid number 1.
Hell yeah.
How about you, Johnny?
Well, it ain't Justice League Unlimited. Y'all already heard my honorable mention. My number one is going to be a classic. Motherfucking Powerpuff Girls, bro. They count.
They 100% do count.
They do count.
100% count. We already did an episode of Powerpuff Girls, so if you want to know more, then listen to that. But literally, that was probably my favorite superhero show growing up. Like, I didn't even give a fuck if it was girls. They kicked ass. And the music, fire, animation, fire. Stories, funny as hell, and fire, bruh. It had everything. It literally had everything I could have wanted.
You know what? And that's fair. And I can't even be mad about that as a number one pick.
Yep, because after we did our Powerpuff episode, I'm like, this show low-key is goated. It is. Yeah. I was disrespecting and not putting it in my top, but it's easily in the top.
It's one of those shows that you expect to like hardcore taper off. Like Dexter's Lab starts here, like it starts high up, but then I can notice it tapers off after a while.
It does.
Powerpuff Girls, even with the animation shift, it's still up there. Sometimes it'll be mid, sometimes it'll be like even high up there with later episodes. I was surprised when I was rewatching it. I'm like, damn, some of these episodes are actually still really good. Even the later ones. But yeah, that's easily my number one. I love Powerpuff Girls. It's great. Fantastic show. Fantastic for all ages.
I agree with that. I agree. Well, there's our top 5. And hopefully some of our shows line up with some of yours. But if not, it's perfectly fine because there's goated shows like Ben 10 that we didn't even talk about.
Yeah, Stripperella, bruh.
Okay.
El Tigre.
Kappa Mikey.
Kappa Mikey. Hey, it's Kappa Mikey. Yo, fire.
No.
Not really. Not really.
Oh, what was that show? Something in Chum Chum?
Fanboy and Chum Chum. Yo, yeah, fuck Justice League Unlimited, bro. This is actually the top show. This is the top show.
Okay. No. Now that we're done talking about trash.
Yo, dare you call Captain Mikey trash?
You're right. Disrespect. Yeah. The audacity.
Captain Mikey could be Superman. Could be Superman.
Oh.
He said those words in that order.
Said it. Put up a poll.
Captain Mikey wins, and I'm right, man.
Oh, man. Well, there's our top 5 superhero cartoons of all time for each of us. Let us know in the comments what yours are because we're very curious to see if you got Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10, Justice League, Batman, all those greats in there.
Hit us with some deep cuts like Generator Rex.
Yeah, hit us up with some deep cuts, and we'll be sure to read them, and we'll shout a few of you out next time we're recording for the pod.
And did we miss an episode or maybe a series that you really appreciate and you want a whole episode on? Leave some recommendations in the comments.
Yeah, and we'll be sure to cover some of these shows in the future on the pod. But until then, thank you all so much for listening and watching. We appreciate you all so very much. Until next time, peace out, everybody.
Remember When is a Sweet Recording production. Check them out at suiterecording.com.
Intro and outro created by our very own Johnny.
Subscribe, listen, and remember to review wherever you are on social media. Thanks for listening.